Now more than ever, our internet reliance is rapidly increasing. We stream our favourite shows, keep in touch with loved ones, and watch podcasts like The Brew, all on the internet. And we'd like to think that our information is safe. But as our online footprint increases, our information needs to be properly secure, Jay. We need it.
We need that proper security.
Yes.
Surfshark is a VPN service that protects your information by encrypting all the data that you send out through the internet. Another great reason to use VPN is because it can enable you to use services that are sometimes restricted in other countries. So things like Netflix, Amazon Prime, all that sort of stuff. When using a VPN, that lets you access other channels that you might not be able to access from the country that you're in.
And with Surfshark, you can solve that problem by simply changing your location. So you can be on the beach on holiday and set it back to the UK and watch the Premier League games with your normal streaming services.
Currently, Surfshark has an amazing deal. By using the code Paddock, you can get 81% off. That's 81%, which just sounds too good to be
ridiculous.
true.
And you also get 3 months free. And with Surfshark, you also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. So use the link in the description and the code Paddock for 81% off, 3 months free, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Use Surfshark. You can't get better than that, Jay.
Couple of quid a month, you're laughing.
Ludicrous.
Which one's next?
What do you mean? From the 80s?
Yeah. Do you know what would be good?
Go on.
Blade Runner.
Oh, yeah. They've done it.
Sorry. Running Man, I meant.
Yeah, because Running Man is all right, but it's a bit like, you can see it's a bit budget.
If you watch it now,
Yeah.
you go, wow, we had one soundstage, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And the bit in the prison where he's like, he looks over his shoulder to get the code and then nicks it. Come on. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I think that'd be good if they did it, you know, all bells and whistles.
What's his nickname?
In the Running Man? It's the Butcher of Bakersfield. Isn't it?
Correct.
Wow.
Yes.
Banging Adidas onesies in, though.
I know, yeah. Hey.
Trefoil.
Do you know what I mean?
Originals.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with that. Got the Housewives favourite with us.
All right.
Hey, Eccles' favourite.
Very soon.
I
to
want
be.
someone to do what they did to me, to you
What's
and
that?
Eccles. Well, not that. Something else. No. Never mind that.
No.
He stopped me. I was walking down the street and Eccles went, "Shit, Jay, you actually do live in Eccles."
Slipping lying. Yeah. I'm not
Why,
lying
bro?
about that.
Yeah, he's joining the M30 Massive.
Very soon, because it's great buying a
Can't
house
find
right now.
More Salford on this table. I'm sick of you, East Manchester lot, taking over. I didn't mean that, by the way.
There's
not
only
from
him,
East
isn't there?
Manchester.
Oh, there's an RH.
No, RH comes on.
Yeah.
There's usually some connection somewhere. He's always,
A couple of serial killers.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's always
somewhere,
getting a
there's
few of
someone-
his mates on
there's
here, isn't he? Hey.
What have you done today, Steve? This morning.
Did 10k this morning.
This is your thing in the minute, isn't it? 10k a day.
Not yet, but I'm doing a few 10ks a
To
week.
warm up.
Yeah,
for
to
you
warm
in
up.
10k a day.
For doing
Is
10k
that
a
what
day.
you're
Did you? Because I didn't sort of clock that you started doing 10Ks for a little while. Did you go straight into 10Ks or did you do gradually build yourself up?
Fuck off, Jay.
Because I know because I did 10Ks, so I had to
run
build
them,
myself up. And also, you did with like backpacks and kettlebells and through the forest. And
I haven't done a kettlebell one for a minute.
right, okay. I know.
Have you done
Right.
soft money? Yeah.
No, because it cost me 200. It was last weekend on it. It
Yeah.
cost me 250 quid.
Yeah.
And I was like,
It's not worth it. It's mad. It's too much. I wanted to see you wading through that first bit.
I don't mind that. I enjoy that sort of
I
shit.
know,
but
but it's not just that. It's the fact that there's 100 people in front of you getting in your way.
Oh yeah, what punch me in the back of the head.
Yeah, you'd
Fair
do
one.
that.
Ross Murphy says, done 10K, filmed XG files, now doing the brew. Stephen Howson has done a lot today.
Just not all of them.
Little soldier.
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing 10Ks because from 2 weeks today, 30th of September,
Yep.
I'm doing 10K a day for 45 days,
Yep.
which is 450K for those who can add up.
Yep.
On one of the days, I'm doing 16K because I'm going to do another Paris 10. This is the Arnhem 10 miler.
Yeah.
And then it ends on Remembrance Sunday. Brilliant timing. And I'll have to do 11K on that day. And that's 457K, and that's 457K for the 457 lads that we lost in Afghanistan. So every morning I'm going to read out the next 10 names.
Yeah.
We're doing it for these lads. Off we fucking go.
No,
So a bit of weight,
Fair play.
10K every day. I think fitness-wise, I can do it.
yeah.
I have not done this level of exercise that consistently for 10 years. So my worry is injury for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Because I've obviously ramped up from next to nothing. But I'm thinking like a tendonitis kind of thing, Joe, from overuse, like a knee or an Achilles maybe.
Yeah.
That's what I'm a little bit worried about.
Is it ice baths and all that? I mean, great cause, by the way. Good to hear that you're doing that. Obviously, a cause very close to your heart. Is it ice baths and all that between them? Do you have to go?
No,
Do all that
that
business?
I mean, I don't know if that even works for tendons.
Oh, does it not?
I don't know.
Right. You know what? I'm going
Might
for
just
that.
be
I'm going
str-
off
might
Eddie's
just be-
ad when he did his...
Might just be strain. Like, it's just
Yeah, and ultimately 10k every day, 45 days at £250 is, plus whatever I'm carrying is hard work.
You don't mess about. You do it. When we did the Manchester 10k and he went, I was debating doing it. You were debating doing it. Joe was debating doing it. Scotty was debating doing it.
And he went, I'll do it.
And he went, I'll do it, but I'm gonna carry, how much was it?
40.
I'm gonna carry £40 on my back. Right, okay. And you came in with your back. I had to go with it, didn't I? And it was heavy. I was like, oh
I
my
was
God.
worried though because his number fell off.
No,
and the tracking
I
thing
knew.
didn't tell you he'd finished. So I just thought he'd get lost.
I called that. I said, there's no way. He'll drag himself across the line because he's off his head. There's no way he's not going to finish.
When I did Paris 10 the other week,
Yeah.
I've had pains that I have never had before. I was having cramp in my VMO, or like I couldn't stand up. I got cramp in my quad and my hamstring at the same time. How'd you stretch that, Jay? I just stood there shaking.
Just on the runs you're doing, is it raising money or is it just an acknowledgement thing?
Yeah, so
is there anything?
I haven't got a link for it just
Yeah.
yet because I'm talking directly to Royal British Legion for it.
Okay.
So I'm hoping they can sort the page out for it and it just goes straight to the Royal
Straight
British
to
Legion.
that. No, it's a great cause, and obviously, like I said, something close to your heart. And good luck with it. I know you'll do it anyway because that's what you do, innit? To be honest with you. Do you know what I mean?
Tendonitis is the only thing that's going to stop me doing it.
Yeah,
That's
physically.
it.
If you physically get, because the reason I'm asking about ice baths and all, I remember when Eddie Izzard for Sport Relief did like 20 or 50 marathons in 50 days, and he went from doing nothing to practicing. And
Insane that, by the way.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There's a bloke I know as well. Shout out Brian Wood, MC, Military Cross, fucking badass. He commented on my post. So I was like, "Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 457k." He's like, "Oh, brilliant, Costy. I'm doing 35 marathons in 35 days."
You just went,
wow.
Cheers.
Blocked.
I'm only doing a bit of walking. Fucking hell.
Way make me feel like a pussy. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, nice one.
So I'm doing it for Afghan.
Yeah.
And I try to work out if you times 35.
Oh God, calculate right.
It might be 25 days or 30. Oh, because 35 times 26.2. Is it like 1179 or something
times
like that?
26.2 is
About
917.
Right, 917. So I think that is Falklands, Iraq, Afghanistan.
The losses.
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing.
Okay, it's very poignant, very moving, and also that's some task that
It's fucking
917
telling
miles on the spin. Do you know what I mean? No, that's not one for me. That. I do my 10k once a week. That's me.
Struggle
I
like
feel
my
good
car.
about myself doing that.
I'm doing 300 miles in just over a month, right? And I'm like, that's badass. He's doing 3 times that.
There's probably someone out there that's doing more than him as well. Like, he's doing, you know what I mean? You know these lot like these army.
Yeah, Goggins will be like, all right, so that's the warm up. What else we do? Fucking lunatics. Then we've got to figure out what we're going to do in December.
What do you mean?
Can't do one thing a month.
You got to do one thing.
I'm trying to do one challenge a month, yeah.
Do you know what a little breather and that, like December, Christmas?
He's doing it now. He's on him.
Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
no, we're in it, Jay.
I'll have a
This is how we
week.
keep the voices quiet.
Right, okay, fair
yeah.
enough. That's a good point, yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough. Jacob OC has been a member of the Academy for 19 months. Says, what tea do you guys drink? And do you ever make a pot of tea with loose leaf? Blessings.
I've never made a pot of tea with loose
No.
leaf.
Have you not?
At the moment, this I don't think is. This is probably blasphemous, probably, but it's probably Yorkshire or Tetley, I imagine.
My better answer is Yorkshire tea is the best tea.
What's this one?
Yeah.
Yorkshire tea.
Yeah.
Yorkshire
I
tea.
can taste it.
Yeah.
As much as I hate everything that Yorkshire stands for, their tea's not bad.
No, I've heard that Yorkshire tea.
Yeah, Yorkshire
I love that.
tea is good.
As much as I hate, how can you hate Yorkshire?
What?
Yeah?
You're a
Leeds. They gave us Eric, Rio, Alan Smith. Yeah, come on.
30 million quid for Dan James.
Yeah, how can you hate him? Do you know what I mean? You gotta laugh at him. That's
Anyway.
what I do. Yeah.
So yes, Yorkshire tea.
I've heard it's the best. It's the one good thing to come out of Yorkshire since we bought Eric Cannona or
I'm,
whatever.
I'm having tactical tea as well at the moment.
Tactical
Tactical,
tea.
of course you are.
I can honestly
Fucking
say
hell.
in all
That
my
definitely comes
life
with
on
a
planet
camel
Earth,
box.
I've never heard the saying tactical tea. Please do elucidate us.
It's obviously a veteran-owned company. You've heard of Contact Coffee, I assume. Maybe not. It's it's another veteran-owned coffee thing.
All right,
and It's
okay.
just another sort of veteran-owned sort of thing. I don't drink coffee. Otherwise, I'd be all over the
I think
contact
that's
coffee
for the
one.
best.
Yeah, maybe. But I do drink tea. And tea is the one way that I'm going to get off Red Bull, probably. Because
Have you got off Red Bull? Have you weaned yourself off it, or are you still
I'm
on?
probably on one a day at the minute.
Really?
Yeah.
That's decent. That. What were you on?
I don't even want to answer that question. I don't even know if I can answer that question because sometimes it's been a lot. Put it this way. When was it? What day was it? Saturday, I think, last weekend. I had a Red Bull, went for a nap. I don't think you're meant to do that.
No, I don't like. No, you can't. You should.
I had
They're
like
full- they're full
half a
fat
Red
Bulls
Bull
as well.
Yeah.
It's not even just like the normal.
Half a Red Bull, had a nap, finished the rest of it when I woke up.
That's like when I used to be like wee on sniff. Get to that level, you can go for a meal and no one knows.
Yeah,
I used to love that.
The impact of the caffeine from a Red Bull is just negligible at the minute. I don't even think it touches the sides.
I remember getting a message once. Remember when I told you? This is a few years ago, and it's like someone sent me a text. I've not spoken to him for ages. He went, just seen Steve Howson buying a Red Bull.
Of course, yeah.
Nice one. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
More to follow.
I see that twice a day.
That was the old tier one who sent me that as well. The
Was
original
it?
tier one, yes. You know what I'm on about. Get involved in the chat and the comments. Let us know what you think about.
That's how he's getting them transfers.
I know. I can't believe he gave that up. He was the original Romano, and he just couldn't be bothered.
He literally
anymore.
was better hit rate than Romano.
He was, and then he forgot his password phrase, and then he remembered it when he was drunk and started tweeting nonsense. And we were all like, "What? Are you back on Twitter?" He's like, "Oh, I've had about 12 wines. I don't know what I'm doing." Like,
Can we not get the old that podcast back?
Yeah, Red Mancunian podcast. People still.
Well, I
ask
was
me.
trying to hide the identities a little bit, but fuck it. Yeah, let's just say
Do you
let's
know what
go.
I mean? If you've not worked that out, you're probably, a bit thick. Yeah, I'd love to because we started asked about it, and we had this rule when me, Craig, Tomo, all the lads that went to the game started doing the podcast. We had this rule: we do it in a room together like we do. We didn't have any equipment, so we used to do it in like someone's house. Craig had equipment and it was decent, but then this was like 12 years ago, 30
Craig
years
have a
ago.
Bambino.
Yeah, well, I started procreating. Craig did. Mark used to do it with us.
Did you used to
Sam.
do it after you got off the gear as well?
No, we used to do it. It was mad. We used to do it midweek.
There's lines been drawn up.
They were very clever. They used
Pun
to make-
intended.
I used to work at the soccer dome, and they used to do it around my shift there. So I was always quite compass mentis. But it was great. Do you know what I mean? Because this was early doors as well, when there wasn't like a million United podcasts.
It was one of the first podcasts I subscribed to. That.
We had Danny Higginbottom on it, weren't we? Which was, a bit of a coup for us. And then Craig started popping off on Twitter, and it was good. But then life got in the way, and yeah, we stopped doing it. At one point, you can hear a baby in the background in one of them because we did it. I think we did it at Nick's. It was Man United youth, and we did it at his house, and he had a kid, and it was just like his baby was crying, and he was just like, "Yeah, well, this isn't going to work." And we tried to do it on Skype, and it just wasn't the same.
Can
So,
we
yeah, I'd love to
demand
get
it
back.
comes back? Can we get a monthly Red Mancunian special?
Let's have a monthly Red
Very good.
Mancunian. Let's get that guy on here as well. We need to get him on. I've messaged him. He's not replying. So
Which
if you're
one?
watching Brian McClare, get in
All right.
touch. I'll keep mithering him. He's not ready now.
We decided last night that Brian McClare's coming and doing a watch along with us next week because he's not United.
We're going to do the 99 one. Cool.
He's not aware
sure.
of this yet because he's not read Jay's message.
But we are going to do this.
But we're advertising it right
Just
now.
going to put 91.
Yeah. So we've got everything we need except him. Yeah. So
Now,
we're
the thing
almost
with the
there.
watch along, how are people at home watching it? Are you
We're going
just
to put it on
watching
that fucking telly right there.
Don't worry
Do you
about it.
think anyone else has uploaded it to YouTube? I don't even know if anyone knows who owns the copyright for that
Yeah,
shit.
don't worry about that. We'll worry about that another time.
It's going right there on that telly right there, and then right there on that telly right there, and then we're just going to talk about it while
Yeah.
it's on.
Do you know what I mean? We talk about it every week anyway, so why don't we have it on in the background whilst we're talking about it? Do you know what I mean?
And what we're going to title it? The 1991 Cup Winners' Cup Final.
Cup
Bosh.
Final. Yeah, the full,
Yeah.
the full everything. Do you know what always annoyed me about that cup run? Right. It didn't get the acknowledgement it deserved as we got past each round. I remember watching it on the telly, and after the game, like I think we beat Montpellier, was it in the semis or the quarters? And
But
it
where
was,
Pauline's got injured.
yeah, I think so. And it was, I think Hughes got someone sent off, didn't it? And it went like after the game, they'd go like, oh, great result that for Manchester United through to the Cup Winners' Cup final. Anyway, now here's the weather. What? Where's the post-match analysis? Where's the absolute, party that United have done this? There was none of that. Whereas now, after any game on the telly, you've got like an hour afterwards, aren't you, where you interview the manager, interview the players, you get the post-match
TV
analysis.
coverage of football.
It's mad.
The Premier League and Sky have had a fucking enormous hand in this because that was one of the main drivers of what they wanted to do. And have you read about what the likes of Keys and Gray, as much as they're fucking dinosaurs and widgets right now,
Dinosaurs and wedges, eh?
They were
a t-shirt.
they were genuinely
Biography.
revolutionary in what they were
Style.
trying to do in 1993,
Yeah.
1992. And some of the concepts that they were coming up with in terms of the bright colours they would wear to stand out, because some of their suits were fucking horrific,
Yeah.
weren't they?
Yeah.
But it was deliberate, apparently.
Yeah.
But talking the way they spoke about the phone-ins, they had a phone-in show with they had a teletext on it in the background. Have you ever seen any of that footage back now?
Yeah.
Like I could remember some of it from the time. Weren't we one of the first Monday night football games? We play, was it Southampton away?
Good knowledge, son.
Dion
Good
Dublin
knowledge.
goal.
Oh, and who set it up?
Brian McClare. Hits Brian McClare on his shoulder, if I get the commentary correct.
And he couldn't have placed it any better.
Jesus Christ.
Mate.
Do you remember that?
That
Why
is-
don't you remember
I
this?
know.
Because I was just about
felt so
born.
Blue kit.
Yeah. I felt sorry for Dion Dublin, man, because I was like, this is it. He's up and running. We've got our first win. He scored the winner. And then was it Palace? Was it a week later or whenever it was?
Yeah,
Did he-
broken leg against Palace.
I mean, okay, we bought Eric and it worked out, but obviously much better.
Swings and roundabouts,
Yeah,
eh?
but I feel
Yeah.
sorry for
What happened with
Dion.
Dion Dublin? Well, he invented a drum.
Yeah, he did, didn't he?
And now he's on telly.
Yeah.
So everyone's a winner, really.
Yeah, exactly. Stairs up to the bathroom, whatever it is he says. Everyone's a winner.
But yeah, if you look at some of the way that footage went down, like that Monday Night Football, I don't think it was called Monday Night Football. What would it have been fucking called?
I'm not sure, but it was a massive leap, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because you went from Elton Wellesby or whatever going,
Granada.
Yeah, that
Granada,
was-
was it Granada Grandstand?
yeah, something like that, whatever it was.
I think it was Grandstand,
Yeah.
which had good music. But the coverage was literally some fucking old fart reading out results.
The football pink.
No fucking visuals
Yeah,
whatsoever.
no stats, no nothing, no
Just
analysis.
like United beat Wimbledon.
Yeah.
City drew with Oldham. You're laughing, mate. This
That
is
was-
literally
that
what
was
we
it.
fucking...
See, I've grown
And
up
you know-
with just
And then,
Sky was
and then
always
yeah,
just
you
been
had
there.
Keys and Gray come where they would talk to fans, they would get pundits on. They had magic, like
Yeah.
it was proper shit.
No, it was
90s.
because it's like you make a good point because it's easy to look at them two now and look at what they've become, and they're like just two nanas just spouting drivel, aren't they? Really, just
that's
embarrassing.
perfect.
But when you go back to them, you went from down here in football coverage to that.
Do you know what? If
And
the
it was
Beatles
like-
get credit for every fucking band that came after them, Keys and Gray need credit for all the fucking helmets that have followed them as well.
Yeah.
You look
Because
at-
they were
was-
revolutionary.
it was-
You look as well, you go on to Sky when like how Soccer AM has influenced all of this as well. Like,
Yeah.
all the people that literally were on Soccer AM, someone
you know-
somewhere is now involved in a fan made. Neil's now doing some
Well,
hashtag. and
Yeah, I was
that
going to say,
all kind of-
Soccer AM literally influenced this because the guys that
Yeah, they was
created
doing
Soccer
it.
AM
Yeah.
then created Copper
There's
Night,
a-
there's a
then
proper
Football
line in
Republic,
it.
It all
then
came out
fucking
of
this.
it. Yeah.
Like,
We
That's
wouldn't
what
be
I
sat
mean.
here if it wasn't for soccer. Yeah.
But that's it. All of that and that how football got covered for me growing up was that, and then that has now gone
It's
into
mad, innit?
this.
if
as
you're
well.
a teenager, Soccer AM's great. I don't think anything comes. I don't think
No.
the current Soccer AM.
I don't think
Hits
you
that.
can't
No.
do it now. Like
No,
what
you
they
can't.
used to get away with
Jesus
was
Christ.
horrendous.
Yeah.
Like it's like, do you know what I mean? 19-year-old girls on the show wearing it like next to nothing at like 9 a.m. on a Saturday.
Yeah.
And just making proper sexist jokes with a load of lads in the corner cheering them on. You'd be like,
and
you're all
love-
cancelled and this show's
it,
never
though.
going to be on again.
Lovejoy being a straight fucking like copy paste out of a lads mag.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, it was that, wasn't it? And it worked for the era. But now, like, I've seen some people have like clipped it up and put it on Twitter and go, I can't believe like they used to get away with this.
I can't believe it.
And you looked and you go,
Fantasy football's
Yeah,
coming
you
back
could've
with Matt Lucas.
is he going to black up?
No comment.
Right, okay.
However,
To be fair, it's not him that's got
No.
form for that, is it? It's David Baddiel, I think. Who was,
no, actually, it is Matt Lucas that's got.
Oh
form for
yeah,
that.
sorry,
yeah.
Matt Lucas
Yeah.
and David Baddial. Yeah, yeah. So actually, yeah, it's heritage for
Do you know
that show.
what? Great question.
Yeah.
Don't know. But some of the stuff that went on Fantasy Football League, like all I'll say is Google after you finish watching this show, Fantasy Football League, Ray Houghton.
Right, I don't even think I know that one.
Right. So Ray Houghton, the famous Irishman.
Yeah.
They get him standing there, dressed up as the Pogues, doing river dance as a potato, and then like the IRA.
Right. I'm sorry. Can I just ask, what have you put David Williams on there for? Did you say David Baddiel? Yeah, David Baddiel used to present fantasy football and he blacks
Oi,
up on it.
Shut up, you fucking man.
Yeah.
We know what we're talking about.
Don't worry.
Sorry, Steve, for interrupting you with that nonsense from producer Ethan, who's meant to be helping me and confusing me. You know I've not got any brain cells left as it is. Please continue your
Yeah, so like they got
story.
Ray Houghton. They make it look like he's dressed up as someone with the IRA. Camouflage jacket, balaclava on, AK.
I thought you said the IRA.
I said the IRA.
Yeah, okay.
Honestly, it's the You watch that show. I've watched it loads of times. I'm probably 90% of the views on it because I just sit there with my head in my hands going, what the fuck, hell, man?
How does that get past the meeting stage? Are you going to meet? I've got an idea. We'll get Ray out in. Yeah, Irish. Dress him up
as,
like that.
as a potato for starters.
Potato.
What?
No. Well, all right.
We'll get him doing Riverdance with a wig on.
Yeah.
We'll get him being one of the Pokes.
This sounds familiar. I might have seen this, you know.
It's insane.
I've seen
I've
the RA bit is just mental.
Yeah. How is that allowed? But yeah, it seems a bit like fraught with danger if they're going to try and recreate that.
George Best on talking about alcoholism and not in a serious tone, as you would imagine.
No, that sounds horrible. Yeah.
I
remember a lot of it. Yeah. It was a bit like some of it when you're a kid. Do you know what I mean? I used to watch it, and I used to think,
my favourite shows.
Yeah, I used to love it. And you used to get very involved in it, and like, you know what I mean? Because I used to be into fantasy football. I remember when fantasy football started. I'm that old, and it was like doing it at school and all that, and it was great. But yeah, I think that show now would struggle if it was to recreate what.
That's it. So what can Matt Lucas? I don't know who the other guy is. It's a Welsh guy, I think. I don't know how they're going to do it. It's not going to hit the same beats. I mean, for starters, it's not going to hit the same beats, but it's also not going to hit the same beats.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably a good thing.
There could be a sketch show kind of
If
thing.
there's sketches in it, there's probably going to be a bit of comedy in there.
Yeah, there'll be some.
Whether or not someone's going to black up like Jason Lee, I doubt.
Because he got Ellis James is the kid who's presenting it with him. I don't know who he is. Yeah, because Jason Lee spoke about that and he said how he got abused.
Oh, he got hammered.
He got hammered and he never got an apology either. I don't think he's ever had an apology. I think David Hill's apologised for doing it, but not to Jason Lee. Because, you know, sticking a pineapple on your head and all that sort of stuff, it's like, lols. But yeah, it was, some of it though, that aside, some of it was quality. Cause especially
Pele was shite. It was one of the best fucking segments I've ever been on TV.
Did you open write that?
Yeah, I had a small producer.
Yeah, did you send that in as a kid? I've got an idea for a show. Pele is shite.
Pele was shite. But even the way they sang, like Phoenix from the Flames, like all of their little things that they sang along to, they sang like a football crowd and did it shit, which was good.
I used to remember that old football was rubbish. Do you remember that? When he used to show clips of old football. It was like...
I think that's where the Pele shite thing came from.
Like from the 50s or the 60s or whatever. Let's look at that, that's rubbish. That's rubbish. Look at what he's doing there. And it was just like crap football.
For those who don't know, the Pele was shite segment was obviously like, they'd be like, they would sing it, Pele was shite, Pele was shite. Like just, and you're going, Steve, that's really bad singing. Go watch it.
That was like the old football was rubbish. Oh, football was rubbish. It just wasn't
even
very
Phoenix from the Flames,
good.
Phoenix from the Flames, Phoenix. Like, this sounds mental. Just go watch it. It'll make sense.
We're not making this up. It actually happened.
And then it'd be like one clip of him playing for Santos where he's like, someone's crossed it to him inside the 6-yard box. He's not even a keeper in the frame, and he's fucking it into Rosette, and then that's it.
That's quite sort of not revolutionary, but that is what goes on now. Do you know what I mean?
It's a tweet.
Yeah, that loads of people do that, don't they? Like, and you can do it with anyone. You can get clips of Messi and go, Messi's rubbish, look at this, or Ronnie's rubbish, whatever. Like, everyone does it, you know, and add a Benny Hill soundtrack or whatever. Do you remember when Lukaku was getting hammered? And obviously he was having bad games. But
what are you looking at?
I did Benny Hill music to people doing Cruyff turns in the new camp, but
wasn't Benny Hill, it was clown music.
All right, sorry.
All right,
what's going on? Every day I ask you this. Every day
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't think I'm getting told.
He's still a professional. He's just going to be, this is him,
That's going to be so, like, that's the one thing that I'm really looking for.
I don't think he's getting told that it's happening. He's just saying, you're talking to Rio today. Wait, who's he?
I recognise him. That's the guy that made that video about
no, he knows. He's in on the plan. I'm not in on the plan.
The plan? What is the plan?
I don't know.
Oh, right, I don't think it's going to end the way. I don't think it's going to end the way he thinks it's going to end. I think the best plan would be not to have a plan. And just, let's just talk about something else. Yeah, I think it would be.
Because I don't think he realises who he is and how just he's going to be. Well, you were shit. I'm gonna keep saying it to your face. Here's the stats of it. These are all the crosses you did against Fulham. There they are on the screen.
Do you know when we had? He had 20 fucking 2 or 27 of them. Do you know we had 88 fucking? Was it 88 crosses?
He had 27 of them.
Yeah, fucking Christ.
Fulham at home.
At some point, try something else, man.
Right, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this
90
again.
minutes.
You've been doing this for 7 years.
Fucking
I'm
minutes.
not doing it anymore.
We had a cross every minute, man.
Like, seriously.
Every minute we put a cross in. What the fuck?
That was my first date with Arnie. That's what I took her to Fulham. Yeah, I'm amazed we've stayed together and we've got children and we've made it work.
Section
Was you?
Yeah. The 20 fucking 7 crosses. At some point, you're like, do you know what?
Shoot.
How about a through ball?
Yeah, it was awful, wasn't it?
I thought
Olympiacos away was bad, but when we just didn't have a clue and we were just hitting high hopeful balls to no one. But that was awful. It was so bad because there was like certain players that could do certain things in that team, like Kagawa or even Zaha.
Hell of a footballer.
Yeah, and it was just like, forget all that. We're gonna do this. And even like Chicharito still had a season left in him at least at United, if not 2. And it was like, no, none of that. We're gonna
No
do
look
this.
crosses to no one.
Yeah, like what is this? What am I even watching? How are we champions?
Did we not score though? And then they equalised about 5 minutes later,
Yeah.
didn't they? So we've scored. Oh, it's all right then. Do you know what? Got away
It
with
was
it's
most
fine.
obvious. You know when you see it coming,
You're like, they're
you go,
gonna score
they're
it.
going to score
Is
it.
that on my end?
Yeah, and it's like, yep, they did.
Darren Bent.
Can't remember. Because was Rennie in charge of him then? I'm gonna stick my neck out and say he was. I think he was.
Fucking hell, Rennie.
I know. I think that's the only good result he had at that time. I think he had a bit of a stinker, didn't he? But he wasn't helped by certain things that were beyond his control. Because Fulham was a bit of a poison chalice when he took over there, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, most clubs are, I think.
Yeah, that's it. And it's like for someone like him who's obviously wants to overhaul everything and get the players on a completely different page, it takes time.
Look who he signed, though. Ryan Sutherland and Lionel Cole.
He went, well, I know these.
I will stand by. Ryan Tunnicliffe made that team tick.
Fact. I mean, you're not
Yeah.
wrong. But
They were
Lionel
gone.
Cole, 3 years ago, was playing for Wally Range.
Which is who Cameron has binned off to play
Don't
for
tell
him.
me, Steve, you didn't write a blog like we all did back in the day, going the future. When he scored about 8 goals in 2 games.
I
whatever.
don't think I wrote anything, but I definitely said it.
Yeah, I said it. I wrote one about Tunnicliffe.
He was a fucking great good player,
Yeah.
Lionel Cole.
Oh, he was.
Tenacious little bastard, like
he
a
was.
bulldog.
Yeah, he was great to watch. But yeah, I remember writing some about Cole. I
And
remember
there
writing one
was
about
such a
Tunnicliffe as well.
confusion as well, and it looks like a hint of racism probably, about Lionel Cole. It's Andy Cole's son, that.
Yeah. No, it's not.
Why is he? Well, he's, and
And Cole. Such a rare name.
I mean, you name me one other footballer called Cole.
I can't. It's impossible. There are none.
No. For ages, there was like a little whisper in the crowd. Andy Cole's lad, that.
Yeah.
Well, his son's called Devontae for starters. He
Yeah.
plays for City.
Yeah. What's happening with him nowadays?
He went to Bristol,
Yeah.
and then I don't know.
There's quite a lot of footballers that have kids around here, and Kevin Campbell used to have a kid around here.
Well, he's still got a kid.
Yeah, no, sorry, around here. I meant like.
Didn't sell him out.
Yeah.
Tyrese is playing for Stoke, I believe, and doing
Yeah,
all
he was.
right.
Yeah, that's
Tyrese, was at 16, I think in fucking 30-something games, scored 63 goals for City.
That's Charlie McNeil numbers, isn't it?
Yeah, he was fucking... But, I mean, Kevin Campbell's a right big bastard, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's huge. And Tyrese looked like he's growing into that sort of frame as well. I think at that age, I think they realised very quickly, not gonna get a game at City no matter how many goals I score.
Yeah.
So he took him out of there. Did he? I don't know if he went straight there. I don't think he did. I think he might have gone somewhere else before Stoke. But he's playing regular now.
Yeah.
I think he's only about 20, maybe 21.
Really?
Yeah.
You see that kid the other day? Sorry to change topic. That played.
Glenhaven,
13.
13, yeah.
What? How's
Mate, I'm
that?
putting him in the fucking
What?
stand.
Yeah.
And I'm
13
telling him,
years old,
listen, me and your mum. 13, Jay.
I know.
13.
13.
13.
He could be my grandson. He's that young. That the maths makes sense quite easily. I could have a grandson who's 13.
Put it this way, right? There's no 13-year-old steps onto a pitch against a team that I'm managing or playing for
Yeah.
that walks off that pitch.
No. Imagine,
How old?
imagine, coming off the pitch and the 13-year-old kid's just so you knew one. And
No.
you're Stephen Howson's your manager.
No.
Forget
No,
that.
there's not a thing.
You know what I mean? At least take a red card.
At least.
yeah.
You're not
At
going to see
least.
14, son.
Yeah, listen, that's horrible, that, isn't it? It'll be interesting to see what happens with him because sometimes, like,
He
some of these
might be
kids-
mint.
Yeah.
He's gone. I've not seen any of the clips, but I guarantee he's technically ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean, he is literally built like a child, so
Yeah.
it can't be that.
he must
he's
have
a physical freak.
He must have a little bit of built in though.
Have you not seen him?
No, I haven't. I'm
No,
sorry.
he is a child.
Really?
He is a child.
How's he getting away with that with the physicality of any standard of?
Top flight. No, it was a League Cup,
Yeah.
but top flight Northern Irish League Cup. There's men in there. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Like
you couldn't play a 13-year-old at our level.
no, of course he couldn't.
So
Not unless
how
you-
the fuck he's
you
getting away
weren't
with
locking
that? He's gonna be technically utterly ridiculous. There's
Yeah.
no two ways around it. A bit like Odegaard was.
Yeah, I was going to say Odegaard. I mean, what was he, 15 when
No.
Madrid signed him? But it took him 8 years to actually get to
He's probably
a half decent level. Now.
That's a
when
good point,
players
that.
are that good that early. It's usually because they're like ridiculous physical specimens, like Rooney was,
Yeah.
or
Big
potentially
Norm.
Haaland or Big Norm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just absolute physical specimens. or they've just got some redonkulous pace like Makofu that plays for Dortmund.
Yeah.
He's been brassing it up since he was like 13 in their junior sides, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Again, just ridiculous sort of technical ability. Little though. Shola Shiratai at United.
Yeah. What's happening with him? He seems to.
Yeah, it just fell off a bit.
He's in
But
and
I
around
think
the first
sometimes.
team.
Yeah,
It's
I'd have
weird
thought he'd
how
have got
he's-
more of a chance
I think
considering.
they fall off a little bit because I don't think they're getting the same level of technical training or testing. Do you know if they're just so good at one thing, they almost neglect it in a way? So,
Because, he's obviously got bags of potential and skill and ability and all that stuff, and you think he's a player that Ten Hag will get his teeth into and do something with. Because he's not been.
he's little though, isn't he?
But your level you've got to be
Yeah.
at. Everyone was screaming for Angel to come into the team when he was when he was 17, 18. You're like, he's good, but
He's tiny.
he's tiny.
Like 53
He's
kg weighs or something like
tiny, and you have to be Messi levels or have the pace as well. And you're just not going to have it. If not, you're
They're
not.
very
gonna be
rare,
able
aren't
to-
those tiny, small players that are quite.
Well, like
skinny.
Angel, I mean, Angel's amazing. Like
Yeah.
the touch of Angel Gomez is just otherworldly, and he did it at Boa Vista, and he's doing it now.
Is it Lille? still?
Lille, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's playing
Yeah, he's playing regularly now, but-
and he's looking good with it. But yeah, I mean, I would expect. I mean, how old is he now? He'll be 22 this year, so he's born in 2000, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So
Well, this is it. This is for a lot of them now. It's make or break time in terms of the top level, where people are going, are they as good as we all thought? Because you can get away when you're 20. People at 19, 20, people go, okay, yeah, he's still got a level to go.
Yeah, 23 to 24, 25,
play
you need
now.
to be dominating
If you're
games,
not-
controlling games,
Yeah.
moving people around.
If you're not at the top flight or top levels, you're not going to get people are going to think, yeah, you're not quite as good as we thought you were. Because they were raving about, weren't they?
Yeah.
You're right. Angel Gomez, I remember me and you doing a podcast years ago. And
Alice had some outrageous things.
yeah, no, I think I was joining you because we were saying like Chong was the flavour of the month, and we were like, nah, Gomez is the one. to
Chong
watch.
won back-to-back
it
Jimmy
Jimmy
Murphy
Murphy?
Player of the Year
Yeah.
and Denzel Laroon Player of the Year in a total of 12 games. He played 6 games at under 18, 6 games at
And
under
he won
23s.
both those.
Well, that's
Yeah,
again,
and he
that's more
shouldn't-
the.
He shouldn't have won the under 18s ones because it was Angel.
Yeah.
But I don't think they wanted to give it him because he was 15 or something like that. Oh, no. No, it was Mason who was 15. And I
Right.
don't think they wanted to give it him because he was underage.
Yeah.
Under the age you're meant to even be for that age group, but he was better than him. And then it was Jimmy Garner who was the best player when he won it for the reserves. And I don't know why they didn't give it.
Do you think it's because he had maybe the physical, he had the pace, and they were kind of going, look, if anyone's going to break through this year, it's you because you've got maybe, if you can get thrown into the team, stretch a game.
I know, but don't
that
just
might
give
be it.
awards out on who you think's going to make
I know,
it.
but I think that's
No.
probably what they've kind of
Because when
done
you
now
look at
and
that
again.
kid's CV now, you go, oh shit, back-to-back Player of the Year at United.
What happened?
What?
Yeah. It's a
But he
stick.
never was. He shouldn't have won
It's a
either
stick
of
to
those
beat
things.
you with, innit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, what happened? Or like, fucking hell, what a specimen. And he just never was.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? Because some of the players have won that award. You've got some of the greatest players ever, and you've got players that just didn't make it. Do you know what I mean? Bojan won it, the Jimmy Murphy Award. I think he played twice for United.
It was Player of the Year with them when Pogba and Revel Morrison won the FA Youth Cup.
It should have been Ryan Sutherland. I don't know if it was. I think I'm at, I don't know right with this one. I would say Will Keane.
I think he's right, Will Keane.
So in that team, you had Tom Thorpe, who was the captain, and Mint.
Yeah.
You had Michael Keane.
Yeah.
You had Jesse Lingardino.
Yep.
Yeah.
You had, obviously, Will Keane,
Ravel.
Ravel, Paul Pogba, Lionel Cole. It was Ryan Tunnicliffe.
I loved Ryan Sutherland. Me and Dave had a running joke on the academy because I compare him to every single academy. He's like, is he as
he
good
that
as Ryan?
good?
He's like, well, but is he as good as Ryan Sutherland? I don't think so. I interviewed him once. I think he thought I was joking when I said, oh, he's lucky at United. All right.
He
Fair
replied to
17.
me once on Twitter because I said something like, someone was going on about Revel Morrison and Pogba. And I said, yeah, cool. But at Ryan Tunnicliffe was Player of the Year that season,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And then he replied saying, yes, I was.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love it when players get involved in a positive way. I hate to bring it up to something remotely modern.
I don't know.
No, I wanted to, no, because I've not asked you about it. So I've asked everyone on this channel about these links that we've had. These suggestions are January transfer with links with Ivan Toney.
Oh, do you know what you made me think of now?
Go on.
Spicy sausages from Southern 11.
I thought I was going to. Sorry.
Yeah.
Have you
That's
read 'em?
that's what it says on that board there, isn't it? Right.
I love the fact we all looked
What
like it was going to. Me and him both went like that.
do you mean?
Some of the strangest thing that's been on
Hot
that
link,
board.
spicy sausages.
Right.
Yeah. I'm having fajitas tonight, mate.
I'm having fajitas, yeah.
Are ya?
Yeah.
Hey, we're both going to live in Eccles, both having fajitas. Did we just become best friends?
20 to 5 on a Friday.
Oh,
This is what's happened.
Hey, another 20
He's
minutes.
lost it.
And it'll all be over. Yeah, this Ivan Toney thing, 'cause I quite like him.
Liked him before it was cool.
Did you? How many videos have you done on Ivan Toney?
I would say there's a couple at least.
Yeah. Because
We did one at the start of the season saying what Brentford have got so right. And
Yeah.
we did one last year saying, because I think I'd said, like, Ivan Toney's going to score goals in the Premier League because from whatever he got in his last championship season, you could just tell it wasn't just a case of this is a shit league, which I don't think it is anyway. He was going to score goals. He was always going to score goals.
So you weren't surprised then when the way he's gone about it? Because I remember seeing him as the friendly one against us at Old Trafford and I thought he's actually, because the Brentford fans were raving about him. You think, okay, yeah, because he scores a lot of goals in the Championship and all that, but Premier League's different. But
I actually don't think it's that different no more.
do you know? Right, so you think...
I think if a player shines in a Championship...
they can bring that to the... Because we saw it to a
Without
certain
shadow
degree
of a
with
doubt.
Ollie Watkins, didn't we? He was...
Jack Grealish
Yeah. Yeah.
at Villa.
Yeah,
At Villa.
I was to say.
Great at Villa.
Would you have him then? You've done a thing on him. You've raved about him. Is he good enough for what we need? Because that's a different story than Brentford. No disrespect to them.
It doesn't feel like Haaland levels. And I always have to go back to that Fergie quote of, does this player get into... He's obviously talking about the teams that were good at his time. Bayern Munich, Real Madrid. Does Ivan Toney get into Bayern Munich or Real Madrid? No. But sometimes, would Andy Cole have done? And I say probably not, but I wouldn't swap Andy Cole for anyone.
No.
Do you think there's many about, though, right now that get into... The Haaland one was obvious. Nunez was the question mark, and I think it's early days, but it's proven that he's maybe not that kind of level. I don't think there is a striker out there that you go, he's the next one that's going to do it.
If Ericsson, for example, was at City's team, was in their squad, would he get a game? Or would he start for them?
Probably
He's been
not.
superb for us.
Yeah.
So do we have to look at it and go, and also, is Ivan Toney good enough to get us in that top 4 spot? I think so, but what do you
I think you got to think now as, can a striker get us 30 plus goals a season? Because that's what, the game's drifted that much that the bottom teams get a spanking. It's not like back in the day when United were winning stuff when it was hard.
No,
I think
it's easy
you've
now.
got the top teams getting 94, 95, 96 points because that's where it takes to get, and that's not just because City and Liverpool have raised the fucking bar. They haven't. Chelsea got 95. Was it Conte last season when he won it?
Yeah, you got the record, I think, at the time.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, was that a vintage Chelsea
It's
team?
a great point, it wasn't.
So, I think the next non-City or Liverpool team that wins the title could be a Spurs. Unlikely, I guess.
Yeah.
Could be United in 3 or 4 years. I don't think we're anywhere near that just yet. It will be a team that gets 90 plus points without a shadow of a doubt. And it might not even be a vintage side. It might be a one-off.
Yeah.
But the next team outside of City and Liverpool that wins the title will be 93, 94, 95 points. I guarantee it. Because that's where you need to be to win the league now. Because there's not as many upsets as there used to be. Factually, provably. The spread of points, the teams at the top take more points from the teams in the middle and the teams at the bottom than they ever have at any point during the Premier League. And that's because of the money drift at the top. It was a lot more egalitarian, early 90s. And even, the big spenders, the big spenders at the time was Everton, Liverpool, Newcastle, Manchester City spent more than United did in the 90s. Not relegated. In the noughties, the big spenders were Chelsea, Liverpool again, and latterly Manchester City. They spent a lot. United didn't really spend a lot in terms of transfers, relatively. We invested some big money in some big players, but they sort of paid off for us. United always paid big wages. But now I think the transfer fees, look what we spent this summer. I never thought we would spend that sort of cash this summer.
Just on that, do you see us then spending more in January?
I don't know.
Rumours we are, and I say rumours because it's rumours, reports. We had Ducker on the other day. He said he doesn't think we will spend anything in January. Since then, there's been these sort of stories.
Jay, I didn't think we'd spend it this summer.
Right.
So
no is the answer.
no, I wouldn't have
Or you
thought
don't
so.
know.
But if it's going well, there's hope that the owners aren't that much of a dickhead that they'd hamstring you by not, giving you a little shove over the line, maybe to have some success.
Because maybe there is that of, okay, we gambled because we thought we could get relegated with this lot, so we're going to spend 240 million, because that was probably what was going through the mind.
Yeah.
And then they've gone, all right, maybe they go, well, do you know what, we spent that. If we spend that much, maybe we actually do challenge here. And it might just be
logical.
a stumble through it where they kind of go, okay, we do this. We're not going to make any money this year. We're not going to do that. So if we just
maybe
do it,
the talk of a bid is real.
Maybe that's the big thing.
And as we saw with Chelsea, was there 30 people bidding for Chelsea?
A ridiculous amount of people that you think Chelsea, there's only a finite number of billionaires. Even today, I know there's a lot of rich people, but they're not going to have that many bids.
Wonder how many of them were pure black.
Yeah.
It was like two lads in the pub like, pop bidding.
I'm hoping Jim Ratcliffe was pure black. Let everyone know what he's about. I want Chelsea. What's that? My bid wasn't successful. That's a shame. Yeah. But I'm here. That's what we're hoping.
But Joe, it might not end up being like, if Jim Ratcliffe does end up putting a bid in for Manchester United, and there seems to be a lot of smoke that there is, if he does end up putting a bid in for Manchester United, it will not be the only bid. There will be people fucking climbing out of the woodwork to throw a bid in.
Yeah.
So maybe in the Glazers' best interest, you set of dicks, pay attention. If they actually have a mediocrely successful, I don't know, that's a fucking word. Fuck, it's Friday.
Minuscule or whatever.
Joe, some fucking semblance of a successful team, potentially, it's even more attractive than a team that's just completely fucking falling like a stone.
You make another good point. I keep saying that. I need to stop saying it to you because I don't like it.
No.
But you can't just have a team that's floundering that needs massive investment when you're buying something. So you go, come and buy United. By the way, the ground's knackered. The training ground, forget about that, it's vintage. And as for the team, gone.
Do you know anything on it? We do, yeah.
There might be
How much?
all of it.
About that.
There might be something
Fucking
in
rate loads.
the state of like the assets as well, because you lost this summer, Matic, Pogba.
Yeah.
Obviously, running down the contracts worth nothing, but United had them on the accounting sheet as £50 million assets because they were about that kind of thing. They had 4 or 5 years
like
left.
that.
So maybe they've just gone, we need to replace them with something else. That's
Point
an asset.
again.
It's
You keep doing it.
You look at Anthony, who's okay. He's an asset. Yeah, he's 100 million. We can put him down as fucking 150, 200 million.
No, you can't.
Because you're going to have him for 10 years or whatever.
That's not how they
things
do
like
it,
that.
but you're right still in the figures because it'll be the transfer fee plus
his wages.
his contracts.
Yeah, and
the
all
value
that
of his
kind of
contract goes into the mix.
And that's probably what they've done.
Just quickly on Tony, would you take him in January if you could get him?
Absolutely.
How much did it cost, do you reckon?
Too much, probably. But
60?
like, I didn't think we'd spend what we did on Anthony. Definitely didn't think we'd spend it on Casemiro. So, shocked me.
Yeah, shocked me, definitely. Abhinav Verma, who's been a member of the academy for 18 months, says, Choupo-Moting has ended up at Bayern Munich and Adebayo at Real Madrid. I think Tony is a great striker to come off the bench. Daniel Kirk, I agree with that. I think he could be rotated. There's a lot to like about him. Daniel Kirk says, do you lot agree Marcus has more technical ability than he gets credit for? That's one for you. That's the no disrespect. Baggers, you can answer as well.
It does because people say he's got no technical ability.
And if you
So
watch
yes,
him,
he's got
any
some
kind of
technical
football,
ability. I don't necessarily think he's got a bag of tricks to be able to beat a man consistently time and time and time again. I think he's much better running in behind into space. But so what? Andrei Kanchelskis was like that. He's pretty fucking good at it.
Yeah.
Make it your thing. Be
But I
good
think
at
he's tempered that down a bit. I think when he first came in the team, he was doing that. You look at, especially first few games under Ollie, when he's gone, go on, Marcus, shows what you've got. He did that a lot.
Yeah.
You remember that Bournemouth game where he took past to him on the right hand side, and it was Pogba goal, I think.
There was one against Chelsea where he did it, crossed it for Pogba's head up.
Unbelievable.
Great skills.
He's got
Great
that. I just think there's maybe a bit of confidence, and I think that in the last 12 to 18 months, he's kind of been draining. You're like, well, maybe I can't try and go past someone because I'm getting slated.
You saw it, didn't you?
You
You saw it at Old Trafford, especially. The kid's just confidence just gone from him. Like you could feel the sort of.
I still
nerves.
think the entire team's got a smidgen of that in them.
No, I agree.
Like I think we saw that against Sociedad a little bit. Like I think if we can get our noses in front, I think we've got like a little bit of pretend confidence about us where we can see a game over. And I think that's why we're kind of celebrating some of the tackles where we are because it's a bit of nervousness. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And I don't think we're certainly not back to where we don't matter. We're going to get another chance. We're not at that level yet. We're not going to be a team that's just constantly knocking on the door to get a winner. So I think we're still in the stage where we're building. It's positive and it's moving in the right direction, but we're not rock solid perfectly at the back yet. Very good with Martinez and Varane for sure. Definitely better than it's been. But we've not got it right away through the team where we can dominate midfield and we can create chances at will. Like we're not quite there with it yet. So I think our confidence is kind of a bit false. So when we concede a goal, I think sometimes we slip back into last season mode a little bit where we go, oh, fuck.
We saw that last night. Like first 15 minutes, we didn't look great. We looked, they had a lot of the ball. We got that goal that was fantastic football, and then they never looked like touching the ball. Even that was it. They kind of controlled it. And you mentioned there about the nervousness when Maguire started against Sociedad. The entire stadium went every time he touched the ball. And look, you don't think he's very good, and I think it's been shown how bad he is when you've seen the step up we've had with him not in the team. But he's not that bad. He's not that bad where you need
like,
to,
I thought
to
even
do that.
The cameo with him last night, there was a nervous energy.
I think
around
there
the
is.
team.
I think that's
I feel
it.
for him a little bit as well, because I have a default setting. Like, we'll sit and we'll criticise United players and do it all day long. When anyone else does, other fans of other teams or the media, I'll defend him.
Yeah.
I defended Phil Jones against Twitter, the actual Twitter, when they were slagging him off because it's like...
No wonder he did drugs, is it?
I know, I'm sorry, but I'm not having it, yeah?
No,
it
it's
might
right.
be crap, but there are crap, right? So, leave him alone. And the thing with Maguire is, some of the stick he's getting, all right, it's warranted. Some of it is just ridiculous. Like, against Arsenal, keep going back to it, I think he got the yellow card. Rightly so. Do you know what I mean? Take
It's
that
the right
yellow.
decision.
Because Casemiro left him in the doghouse, and he's got to make a challenge there, otherwise Jesus scores. And then everyone's going mad at him, screaming at him. And
I think what it was, because I had the same sort of instinct reaction. Yeah. I think what it was is you've just watched an Arsenal team give us a good go.
Yeah.
And we've had a tough time with Jesus.
Yeah.
In the back line. But Martinez and Varane I don't even remember having a shot. Did he have one shot maybe?
Yeah.
Like, so we've limited him. Maguire's come on, just fucking screamed into him, Bosch. Straight off the bat, and everyone's gone. I think what everyone's done is project what might have happened if we'd have had 90 minutes of this shit going on.
I understand. Because I said to my mate who I stand with, I said, if we draw this game now, he's done. Like, when Maguire come on, I thought, if we concede 2 goals now and we draw, he's not playing for us again because he just won't be able to. You'll have to get rid of him because it would have been horrendous. Carly says, boys, a history question. Would you rather have Alan Shearer or Ole Solskjaer in the 96 season? You might be conflicted here because you're mate, innit?
Who's Shearer?
Yeah. You look busy there.
Drinking
Drinking rum with Shearer. Disgusting.
He does follow me.
Yeah, I bet he does. Look at me, he's friends with all the England players and all that.
Do you know what? If he still follows me, that's amazing.
Hey.
Like, because, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'd stick with Ollie May. 99 cannot be beaten. And he was a massive part of that.
Yeah, still does.
Yeah.
Shearer was good though, wasn't he?
You know when you would have wanted Shearer? 92, when we linked with him then.
Yeah.
Because then you've got an English striker in the Champions League.
At Newcastle, did he
Not
ever
that round.
replicate any of the form he had at Blackburn?
No. You know, again, you've been bang on. Blackburn, he was banging him in from 30 yards all the time.
He had the injury, didn't he? And I don't never think he scored a shitload of goals, didn't he, at Newcastle?
Yeah.
But he was there a long time, but I don't think he ever had like the ratio of goals.
There's 92, you'd rather have Eric. Yeah? Because he's Eric.
Can't change history.
Do you know what I mean? Exactly.
It
99,
made-
you'd rather have
Because
him.
if you sit there trying to argue now that David Hurst actually would have won us a Champions League in 1994, I'd have been like,
Shut up. Yeah. And he was mint David Hurst.
talk about-
People don't realise how good he was.
Talking about Tony though, you look at like we've gone Shearer, especially England, Shearer, Rooney. These strikers that are below them have got no chance. Tony's not gonna. There's no point in Tony going on this England being called up. Great. He's not gonna play Harry Kane, is he? It's like when Shearer was there. What was the point? Andy Cole wasn't getting a game. It was done.
But I
And
understand
all
that.
these other ones,
But
Rooney was playing.
the worst
no
one was
one else
where
was
Sven
playing.
took Theo Walcott when he was about 12.
We're never gonna play.
And
Left
Michael
Defoe.
Owen.
left a foul at home.
Yeah. And Michael Owen in the first game.
They're just never gonna
crucial
get a game.
goals.
They're just not. They're not going to get like Ivan Toney. Yeah, he's done really well and deserves his place in the England squad. But unless Harry Kane has an injury, he's not going to play.
He might get an
no
injury, Harry
chance.
Kane.
He might play. I
No.
say he might play 3-5-2. He probably will, but it'll probably be Sterling that's playing.
Yeah, it won't be.
Southgate can fuck right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's another story for another podcast. Steve, where can people find you? What are you doing?
We're playing in Crew tomorrow. We've got a friendly Crew reserves. Taking 20 lads down. So
The Crew reserves.
no,
Right. Okay. So, and it's not a stupid question because you have played some league teams.
we have done, yeah. But that, Jay, is what would be known as a shagging.
Right, okay.
So yeah, I mean, we had a training session on Tuesday. We're training again tonight. By the way, we're recruiting players. We've got 4 teams. I don't know if all of you knew this. We've got 4 teams. If you want to come and play for us, DM one of the Stretford Paddock FC social media accounts, either the Twitter one or the Instagram one. We've got an under-21s development team. an amateurs team, which is the reserves, and then a first team. So the first team's high level, right? The rest of the teams, you could probably play for them, right? So if you're interested in coming playing for us, there's quite a few spots left in all of those squads. I'm looking for about 3 or 4 to add to my first team. A couple of them have...
Yeah.
Let's just say yeah.
You've gone on holiday.
Yeah, let's just say yeah, right? So there's spaces. If you're interested in coming getting in the mix, come get in the mix. We're currently training at Turn Moss. That's going to be changing in the next few weeks as we've got a new ground being opened, but I don't know when it's being fucking opened. So if you're interested, Stretford Paddock FC. If you're in the Crew or Northwest area tomorrow, you want to match, no United this weekend.
Yeah, man.
Come and watch us. Should be a good game.
When are the highlights going up?
There won't be any highlights of this friendly. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, so we got a game next week. League game's back on. We've had a couple of week break.
Yeah.
We trained on Tuesday. We were fucking wank.
Right.
We had a conditioned game
Yeah.
against the reserves, lost 6-0.
Good that. Well done.
Fucking wasn't.
It's your old team, that, isn't it? The Resis.
We're good then. They're better now.
Baggers, you've got some messages for us.
Yeah, let's get some merch. These ones. Got new mugs. Look, Steve's got a mug.
Aye.
Mugs, get them. Code Paddock20 on the website. If you buy 2, you get 20% off. So that's kind of the deal. And I'll go on to the community and for the members, you've got a discount code as well. So we'll put that in there.
There is
So
a
go
special offer as well. If you buy 25 mugs, Alex comes and he does like that nude butler thing where
Butlers in the
he'll
buff.
come and... Yeah, Butler's in the buff, that's the one. He'll come and wash the pots in your house, cockhoot, right? But with a pinafore on.
Animal
That's
contract.
contractually
That's all
binding.
my in-laws in the chat now. Yeah, there they go. They're buying them all.
25 mugs.
Sorted.
No.
25 mugs.
Hey.
75.
Alex gets cock out.
75.
Under a pinafore though, like nothing fucking smutty
Nothing
out.
rude. No.
Classy, eh? Classy on this
Nothing
channel.
offensive.
So yeah, make sure you check out Paddock Merch. Go and find these lot on social media. You know where to find me, Stephen Howson. What's your...
Baggers _Alex.
Yeah, you know where to find me as well, Jay Moy. This has been The Brew. Thanks for watching.